Welcome to the Nightly 5 podcast with Belle Taylor.
Last year, our responsible economic management delivered the first surplus in 15 years. We now expect another surplus of $9.3 billion this year. This budget shows that we are realistic about the pressures that people face right now, and we are optimistic about the future.
Treasurer Jim Chalmers handed down his third federal budget yesterday. It boasts a $9.3 billion surplus, and Chalmers claims he has delivered a plan that will tackle the rising cost of living and dampen down inflation. It's also going to give us all $300 off our power bill. Joining me now to tell us what's really going on is a journalist who has covered more budgets than he, or anyone else for that matter, cares to remember, Ben Harvey. Ben, $9.3 billion sounds like a lot of money.
Well, it does. I mean, that's some pretty good walking around cash when you think about it. But if you look at it in context of the actual budget itself, that's the actual cost of running Australia for a full year. It's actually not that much cash at all. $9.3 billion surplus compared to $734 billion, which is what it costs to run Australia. That's the size of Jim Chalmers' third budget. In context, not that much, especially when you've got $900 billion worth of debt. If you've got $900 billion worth of debt, you might be thinking a surplus of $50 billion. $100 billion is worth high-fiving yourself over, not $9.
So we should not get too excited then.
Absolutely not, because for two reasons. First of all, $9 billion in the context of things is worth nothing. And second of all, it will probably be wiped out with a $2 a tonne change to the iron ore price or a $3 a barrel change to the oil price. We're at the whims of international markets on this. Anything could happen in the next 3-6 months that will completely wipe that out.
For those of us who don't closely follow the fluctuating international oil market...
Shame on you all.
And those of us who are a little bit more concerned about our own bottom line, the big question is, can we expect a cut to interest rates?
Well, not according to one of the premium rating agencies that's come out on the back of the budget. This is Standard & Poor's, and they've come out and said that there is now bugger all chance of a rate cut by the end of the year because this is an inflationary budget. Despite what Jim Chalmers says, you cannot pump billions of dollars into an economy through rebates and tax cuts and expect prices to come down. It is impossible. He has failed the fundamental test of the law of supply and demand, which is Economics 101, which you would hope the Federal Treasurer of Australia would have a passing understanding of.
So you're saying he is not going to do what he says it's going to do?
It's absolutely not going to do what he says. He says that we're going to have inflation back at 2.75% sooner rather than later, and then added the weasel words, perhaps by Christmas. Perhaps by Christmas. 24 hours before the budget speech, he was saying it would happen by Christmas. Now it's perhaps by Christmas. Clearly, even Jim has not drunk enough of his own Kool-Aid on this one.
Ben, we are in the middle of a housing crisis. It's a hot topic at the moment. Can this budget put more roofs over Australian heads?
It will put more roofs over Australian heads. It is pumping a lot of money into the system. It's not going to pump 1.2 million houses worth of money into the system because we don't have any tradies to build the houses. That's the absolute reality of our housing crisis. We do not have enough people to build houses. The West Australian government has just spent $11 million to try and get 1,100 tradies into WA. They got 114. $11 million to lure 1,100, and we got about 10% of that. Who is going to build Jim's bungalows? Answer me that.
Well, we might have to start picking up the tools then, Ben.
It'd be the worst house. It'd be like the Swiss Family Robinson. You'd be living in a tree.
I mean, you know, that's called leafy views these days in real estate talk, I think. Thank you so much for that, Ben, and enjoy that $300 power cut.
Absolutely. Dan Murphy's Here I Come.